John Tennal from Kansas City, Kansas.
But you're also known as
Johnny Conflicts.
That's right. And why are you known as Johnny Conflicts?
Man, playing in metal bands.
And what was the name of your band?
Conflicts.
So it's like a whole Ramonesy vibe going on.
It's true. We're all Conflicts on Instagram, so it's funny. It's like we are Conflicts, and then vocalist is Conflicts, bassist is Conflicts.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm born and raised in Wyandotte County. I'm pure Wyandotte trash. Sick.
That's about as Wyandotte County as it gets right there.
It's true, man. It's true. That's cool as shit.
What,
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Nice horse. So you grew up in KCK, still live in KCK.
Still live in KCK.
We have that in common for sure. And right now you currently are building the gasser.
I am.
Tell us about your car.
So it's a 64 Ford Falcon that I bought from this place called Gypsum, Kansas. It's like 15-ish miles west of Salina. Dude had just bought a Chevelle, so he was like, this one's gotta go. And I was like, hit him up instantly. He just popped a wheelie on a horse.
Full Red Dead Redemption,
dude,
right
straight
there.
up, man. Well, yeah, I knew that I wanted either a Nova 2 or a Falcon. Come on.
We picked the absolutely great spot to do this.
It's great. Once everything moves, we'll be fine. It'll be all right.
I've never been here and had this many people
Dude,
be
right.
here before.
Like straight up a horse just pulled out of nowhere.
Out of the weeds, there's just a horse behind you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's cool. It was
okay.
A
So
pretty
we're
horse.
in Gypsum, Kansas.
Yeah, so got it out of Gypsum, Kansas. Dude just bought a Chevelle. I was looking for a Nova 2 or a Falcon, knowing that I can't afford a Nova 2, so a Falcon came pretty quick. Hit the guy up and he was like, yeah, come down whenever. I was like, all right, cool beans. So I went and picked it up, trailered it back. I mean, everything checked out. It ran, it drove, except he had cut all the springs on it, so it drove like a refrigerator. It was terrible. There we go. There it is.
This is probably the guy that lives here.
Probably.
What,
No, you're fine.
You're good?
Sick.
The wonders of Eddie. We'll probably just leave all this in, honestly.
Dude, the horse has to stay for sure.
So you got it, springs were cut. It was like, the guy had it all laid out, obviously.
Yeah, it was super slow. Like, front tires rubbed. It was terrible. But
did you drive it back or did you trailer it
I
back?
trailered it back, but
Okay.
I drove it to work the next day.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, as soon as I got it, I was like, I'm going to try to daily this thing for as long as I can. And I did. So, basically, I got it in October of last year and drove it all the way up until the first snow. Then I did all the gasser shit to it.
Yeah, and I've watched you do it all, and I've been pretty shocked because we got to know each other pretty good through motorcycles.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
But then, at that time, you really, not to say you didn't display mechanical aptitude, but you didn't really show an interest in that. Like, you were all about riding your bike, and you had some friends that helped you work on your bike, and you did some stuff to it too, but you were more about riding than you were building. And then I was pretty stoked to watch as you've taken this all on.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. I kind of jumped feet first into it and hit a lot of rocks on the way down. You know, it's one of those things. But honestly, I grew up around cars. Like, my mom did demolition derbies. Her boyfriend at the time did demolition derbies, so we were always working on stuff, but never really having a spot to do it. Never really did it.
Right.
Now I kind of have a spot. One of my good homies, his name's Jason Barrett. He was like the nicest dude about it. Let me take spot in his shop for a bit, and we cut everything out of the front end and just kind of hope for the best.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
What axle did you put under the front of it?
So that's a 51 Ford F1 axle that I randomly stumbled across on Marketplace.
Yeah, worked out perfect.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, it was $100, and the guy was like, if you come get it today, you can have it for $50. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So stuck it right under there.
And then other than that, you guys did the suspension. I mean, obviously you put new wheels on it, wheels and tires, and then you stripped the body down.
Yep.
And got it into being back one color, cleaned it all up. Did you have the trim on the side of it when you started? Was that trim missing?
Yeah, all the trim on the side was missing. I do have like the little square emblems that go on the back for like the Futura coupes, but it's a base model. I'm not going to put them on there.
No, yeah.
It seems kind of silly, but I don't know. I just wanted something sleek and white and cool. That's basically it.
Yeah, and it's pretty DIY.
Yeah.
Do you think that because of like punk rock and heavy metal, that kind of put the attitude into you that I can do this if I want?
Absolutely, dude. So, I mean, it kind of correlates. You do everything yourself, and then it's just kind of one of those things where you're like, I think I could do this. I'm going to do it. And then something doesn't work, you figure it out and you do it anyway.
Yeah. I know you just told me you've been driving this every day because it gets better gas. And right now it has a 6-cylinder. But I know you have a motor swap planned in the future.
So, actually, another buddy of mine, he has a 306 sitting in his house backed by a T5. So, he was like, my dad's not giving me the car. And he asked me if I wanted to buy it. So, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. So that's going to go in there soon. I mean, we're just kind of...
this winter's project.
Yeah, exactly that.
How last winter you did the outside.
Yeah. Then, hopefully it'll be a rowdy little fun car that makes a lot of noise.
Now, do you still have your bike?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and obviously I know, but tell everybody what kind of motorcycle you ride.
All right, so it's a 2017 FXDB. It's got a little bit of motor work done, nothing super crazy, but I ended up making 100 horse out of it.
Yeah, and you did suspension, right?
Yeah,
all the suspension.
All the suspension.
It's got like the standard issue FXR Dyna.
Yeah, it's a Dynabro bike for sure.
Bike.
Tall socks only.
But it's also fast.
Dude, it's faster than shit. It kind of scares me sometimes.
It used to hang with me in my FXR, and that thing was like supreme.
Dude, that thing was a rocket ship.
Gene.
But I actually thought about that the other day.
It was. I don't have it anymore.
Man, I wish
that
you
thing
did.
was a rocket.
Yeah, dude, it was super cool.
And you still ride. Like, I just saw you not long ago coming off 18th Street one day. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, actually, me and my buddy just rode, what was it, Sunday. It was pretty fun, man. Like some days I miss it, but other days I'm like, I'd rather just drive this thing. It's
right, and that was to be my next question was, have you started growing more of a love for the car than you have the motorcycle?
Yes, which is wild too, because I mean I still love the bike. Obviously, I'm gonna keep it forever. It's my thing. It's me in a two-wheel machine, basically. But with this, it's like I can go to shows and nobody's like, oh, cool, another black Harley pulled in.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, shoot, we just went to Pistons and Pinups and it was fun. Everybody had a lot of cool stuff to say. They're like, I had one of those in high school. Or, man, I haven't seen those windows since the 60s. It's like, cool, man.
It kind of opens you up to a different world that you might not have known existed, right?
It's totally different.
I went down there. I really enjoyed going down there Sunday. It seemed like I like to see when there are no regulations.
Me too. Yeah.
And then it opens you up to being like, you know, I might not care for this,
right?
But it can be cool.
Yeah,
like
totally.
That's somebody. It's like art. Like you might see a painting and think it's the best thing in the world, and I might see it and be like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know?
Actually, that's me with everything. I'm like, I don't get it, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at a lot of stuff around, like car show wise, and it's like somebody built that. You know what I mean? It's not some dude who sent it off to a shop. It's usually like the guy down the street with a garage. He's like, yeah, I built this in there. I'm like, I built this in a driveway, so it's cool. Like, you kind of make a connection with people in a weird way, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I've always tell people all the time, it's, you know, doing this professionally, like building cars.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. I don't have like some special skill set.
Right.
These are all things that I learned that most of them I got taught to me by another person.
Right. Which it's cool because it's kind of like the thing that gets passed down from generation to generation, you know.
Right.
What I mean?
It's just the willingness and determination
Yeah.
that someone can put into. Well, I want my car painted. A lot of people would sit around and go, "Well, I don't have the money for it." You
Right.
sat around and went, "Well, I'm just going to strip all this shit off here, and then." Okay, well, I know I can spray this on there and it's at least going to protect it, so we'll do that for now.
That's exactly what I did too. It was like, I took it home after we kind of worked on it, and it was all in primer, and then I just woke up one Saturday and I was like, I'm going to go get some turbo cans and spray this in my driveway and do a little design up top and hope for the best.
Yeah, and it came out fine. It looks just fine.
I mean, I call it my little 2065 car, man. It's look good. It looks good from 20 feet away, and 65 down the highway, nobody notices.
Yeah. Well, and once you put a motor in it, like I know you asked about doing some lettering down the side or whatever, and once you do all that, I mean, dude, they don't all have to be show cars.
No, and that's not my goal to have a show car. Like, they're cool, they're pretty to look at, but I'm like, I take this to Price Chopper and I put groceries in the back of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I eat taquitos in the front seat, and if I drop a little bit, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Now do you see yourself getting another car in the future? Is this like the first step into this?
This is definitely the first step. I mean, I had an old car when I was super young. It was a 63 Galaxy 4-door. Never drove it because, I mean, it was a lot of work that I didn't have the money for.
Right.
So it just sat in the driveway. But this, I mean, like I said, I drive it all the time, and I'd like to have something slow and low, but that'll come.
Yeah, those are generally the cars people try to make a little nicer.
Exactly, yeah.
Get that. Now, you said that growing up, you guys were involved in demo derby and things like that. Is that kind of where it all started when you were a kid? Have you always had like a fascination with cars and motorcycles?
So when I was younger, my grandpa, he's the one who actually started everything. I saw a picture of my grandpa, and he had a black 58 Impala that him and my grandma took to Mexico, and I thought that was the coolest shit. I was like, this picture is the coolest shit. So that kind of sparked it, and then one day I went out to my grandma's garage, and there's a 57 Chevy wagon in there that I didn't even know existed. But I mean, it was rusty, it was all taken apart, but I was like, I want that car. And then after that, he got a 67 C10 step side, and I was like, all right, I'm hooked. Like, all that stuff's super cool.
Yeah. And did he always have something like that around?
Always.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Like, he had the Fox Body Fairmont at one time.
Okay.
I thought that was super cool. And then after that, it was like a motorhome. I mean, it was still cool shit though.
Yeah.
And I've always seen old cars, and I was always the guy that was on the highway taking pictures, like, man, that thing's so cool. And now I see people doing it to me, and I'm like, I know that feeling. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my mom's parents lived with us.
Gotcha, yeah.
Because they were retired, and they mostly just traveled. They came and went, but my great-grandma lived in Marysville, Kansas, but she had like I think it was a 38 Packard.
Oh, really?
It was like a super rare car.
Yeah.
Now it's super rare. At the time, nobody cared. But there was a 38 Packard in our garage.
Yeah, that's
the
so
same
cool,
one,
though.
exactly where I'm working on that Suburban at.
Oh, really?
When I was a kid, had a 38 Packard. And like once a week in the summer, my grandpa would like tinker with that thing and get it running. And he always kept it running.
Dude,
that's
cool,
we would like blast off down the road.
Yeah.
And then on my dad's side of the family, we're from the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And down in Brumley, Missouri, they would have the family reunion, and this guy Rick would show up, and Rick rode a panhead chopper.
That's cool.
That he had up until a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
And a buddy of mine has the frame from that bike.
Dude, that's so cool.
Like seeing that dude as a little kid show up to this place where everyone was like super Southern Baptist. Yeah. And we're in a one-room schoolhouse church.
Right.
In this like town where there's two families. And then like here comes this dude with just a straight up with his old lady.
Yeah, I was gonna say
a 6-pack of beer.
Yep.
They're like just the clothes on their back, and it would be like I remember being fascinated by the guy.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Like that, seeing stuff like that when you're young, it makes an impact. It's like that guy's the coolest guy in the world.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a similar story. Like, so I grew up in Wyandotte. Like I said, I grew up off 29th and Cherokee, and right around the corner there was a guy who had a 70 Charger that was black, and I thought that was the coolest thing because obviously I'm a kid and the Dukes of Hazzard's around, and I'm like, that's a General Lee, but I mean it's a blacked out Charger, so it automatically is way cooler.
Right.
But yeah, seeing that as a kid, I'm like, God, that thing's so cool, and I want to be that guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. You see these people, and it's like, man.
Yeah.
And then it's been real wild, like the cars I've seen.
Yeah, man.
Like from when I was a kid till now, like how more expensive it's gotten.
Oh, dude, it's
and
nuts.
Like, all these things, but if you look around, just like you have, you can find one.
You can totally find it.
A little bit of money, a little bit of. I mean, it doesn't take much to work on these and get them running.
Not at all. Like I said, I drove this the next day to work. Just it was ready to go, and I paid not a lot for it.
Right.
Like a very minuscule amount for it.
Right. When did you start playing music?
Shoot. I started playing guitar when I was around 12, and then started a band when I was 16. And then after that, it's just progressed. You know what I mean?
What was the first band called?
Oh shit! What? A Fatal Error was the first band.
A Fatal Error.
Fatal Error was so lame.
Oh man, that's not. Sounds like somebody in that band had like a swoopy haircut.
Dude, there was a few swoops in there. Dude, that's why I'm glad my hair doesn't do that, because I probably would have had a swoop too.
Yeah, I'm just a few years older than you are.
Yeah.
So in that age gap, like there was like the some people call it emo. I don't dare call it that, because that seems like that's like Dashboard Confessional to me. Like, but some people call that pop punk. But I would say it's like sort of like metal mixed with pop punk is really what that music was. But like for us, we were like punk rock.
Yep.
And our first band was called the Aristocrats.
Oh, even better, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, those first bands.
Dude, it's like I actually still have a recording of it, and it's mildly embarrassing to hear.
I was in some choice bands. I was in a band called Chavez. That I played a stand-up bass in. I was in a band out of St. Joe called the American Youth Report.
Dude, I vaguely remember that name from somewhere.
Oh, they were around for a while.
Yeah.
I was in the band for long enough that we made this record up in Iowa, and then I was like, yeah, this is not... That's a long drive to St. Joe,
dude,
man.
Yeah.
And you know how that stuff goes.
Oh, dude, it's a long drive just to go down the street these days to like start a band.
Yeah, for most people it really is.
Like
that is the thing. I think the older we get, the easier it is to build cars, the harder it is to be in a band.
Dude, totally. Like a couple of our members moved pretty far away. Like one of them lives in Nixa, Missouri, one lives in freaking Minnesota, and I'm like, all right, but we all have computers though, that's the thing. So I bought a MacBook and an interface, and I record music, I'll send it to them. They send me music back. It's all the same.
Car sits at the top 14th Street Hill there, don't it?
Yes, it does.
I've seen it, it's badass.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I thought I looked, seen it sitting down there. I said, that's that one with them red windows.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to throw us out.
No, I go down to that tower and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I seen that sitting there and them red windows stuck out, so I just wanted to make sure I was looking at the right thing.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's
Thank
cool.
you, man. I appreciate that so much.
I just have a 64.
Oh, that's about it. Yeah.
Mine seemed to have more fins on it. It was a Falcon Airlane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It had more finny sides on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Had a 411 semi-slim rear end in it.
See, that's rad. Yeah.
I love it. Had a customized wooden dash with skirt-worn gauges and stuff in it.
Oh, really?
It was really cool.
Man, that's cool shit.
Crashed it in my stepdad young.
That usually seems to be the story at the end of the day.
But I just seen it and thought I'd come back and see if I was looking at the right thing.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man.
Okay, you take care, man.
Hey, you do the same, bud.
I don't know where he's going, but he's watching.
I don't know either.
I guess we could show.
Yeah, all right.
See you guys later.
Hey, you have a good one, man. Wild.
Now there's the guy with the four-wheeler. You need me to move my van, bud? You need me to move my van so you can go down there? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah. Now we've been complimented by a security guard. This dude's on a straight up sandbar
Yeah.
four-wheeler just hanging out.
It's a party, man.
It's been a party.
It has.
So now you guys, we'll get back into it. So you got the interface, and now you guys are just doing music,
Yeah.
like online together, writing,
Yep.
recording.
Yeah, like, I have a little drum kit on there that I can program, and Jesus Christ. Are we waiting it out? What's happening?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Oh, man. Horses,
What is really going
ATVs,
on?
fucking what? I don't know what's going on, but I like it.
Well, I wonder if they're usually like, they might still open that gate sometimes or something, and they
Yeah.
ride down to the river. I don't know why they don't just let people ride down there. Real crazy.
I don't know. That was
That's real weird.
yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
weird.
we'll get back into this here. Get done.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyways, now we're gonna get ate up by fucking mosquitoes.
I know, dude. This one bit me on my ankle, and I was like, oh
it's
shit.
crazy. So band's all mobile, no more live shows for right now.
Yeah, for now.
Until everybody comes together.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about doing? Another band where you can play live? Is that even?
So, funny story about that too. So I started a band last year with a bunch of homies, and we we went and recorded a track. We just put it out recently, actually. He's still going nuts back there.
Yeah, I think they were trying to figure out how to get into that field.
Probably. But yeah, we recorded a track a year ago, August, and it's like we just kind of sat on it the whole time. We were like, how do we go about this? Like, we all kind of forgot what to do, and we sat on it, and then everybody just kind of started having issues or like doing other things, and I was like, let's just drop this track and call it. Fuck it, we're good. So I started another band recently, and we're like very new, but we're all sending riffs back and forth. It's kind of fun.
What kind of music? Same.
So this one's more like a hardcore vibe. The other
Okay.
one was straight rock and roll. Like, it was
Yeah.
just super fun. Like I was telling you, I bought a Les Paul, and I was like, I'm gonna play rock and roll in this fucking thing.
Yeah. What else do you do with it?
Right.
You know me, I'm a rock and roll guy.
Same. It's that's just been like my go-to for the past like 5 years, just rock and roll and having fun.
Yeah. Have you anything new music-wise that you've been digging on, listening to?
Man, you know, it's funny. I've just been listening to a lot of throwback stuff. Like, I'll just put like a all-out 50s playlist on and just listen to it forever.
Right.
But I mean, there's a bunch of heavy bands that have come out that I'm like, all right, this is good. Some of it's super boring, but
Yeah, I found like a bunch of weird bands. Like there's this band Idols from England that I'm into a lot.
They're
They
sick.
just played here, but I didn't go
yeah.
because tickets ended up being like $100 and something bucks on the
Oh,
Reese.
fuck that.
I would have bought a ticket when they went on sale, but at the time there was like all these strict COVID regulations that I would not have qualified for.
Right.
So then I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be out the money. Like I don't got it like
Right.
that. I mean, I ain't in the poorhouse right now
Right.
today, but
Yeah,
I
right
also
today.
ain't got it to where I can be like, yeah, I'll blow this 150 and not care.
Right. Dude, that anything over like
That's
50
a band
bucks.
part.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
alright.
What else have I been digging on? Ooh, there's this band All Them Witches that I like a lot.
Dude, yeah.
And they're getting ready to put a new record out, but I like that band a whole
Sick.
lot.
Yeah, dude, I've been digging on the Bronx a lot.
Okay.
Like, that's been my go-to. The Bronx are like, actually, they just put out a record that's really good. Dude, it sucks because I use my phone for too much. Like, I just turn on a playlist and I'll listen through it.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, that's how I discover most of the shit that I listen to now.
Oh yeah, I'm not some like weirdo that's like I must have Nah, man, I work
No.
on cars. Like, I can't have a record player in the body shop.
Right.
I can't have. There's nobody. I don't have a stereo. I don't have a CD player.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I have Spotify, and Spotify, based off of the things I like,
Yep.
turns me on. They turn me on. What anybody says, I've gotten turned on to so many bands that way.
Same.
And then not only that, being able to be like, oh shit, this band is playing
Yeah.
in town
Yeah.
tonight. Because I'll see it pop up. It's like,
Yep.
oh, it's tonight.
Yeah.
Like, there's this Handsome Jack, this weird band from New York.
Yeah, I'd never heard of them.
Dude, they're so good. Like, really bluesy rock and roll
Sick,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. 3-piece.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. Just real rock and roll. Same deal.
Yeah.
Listen to them one day. I was like, oh, this is good. And it was like, oh, playing at the Riot Room tonight. I was
Right.
like, oh, well, I'll go to that.
Exactly. Dude, like, I mean, you know, Spotify then, you get the liked playlist. Like, you just go through and like a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I'll hear it and I'm like, that's cool. All right, like.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
then
mean?
it throws
Like-
it in those mixes.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
Yeah. I dig on old stuff, too. I've always been fascinated with, like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And then to, like, figure out that, like, I didn't even know until, like, 2 years ago that, like, Wild in the Streets, the Circle Jerks,
Yeah.
that was a cover song.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
I didn't know that. And then I got way into that dude, Garland Jeffries, that, like,
Yeah.
wrote that song. But I've always been into that, like, tracing back, because I'm a huge, like, obviously, based off of the band I had forever, I'm, like,
Yeah.
a big garage rock guy.
Right.
But, like, to trace that stuff back and figure out, like,
Dude, it's
Like-
super fucking cool.
it's like that thing where you realize, like, okay, you're telling me that the Ramones and the Sex Pistols started punk, but they were both listening to MC5 and Iggy Pop. So how is that possible?
Yeah.
Like, it just
Dude.
didn't have the name yet? Like, is
Right.
that what you came up with the name, so
Yeah.
therefore you created it?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
You just ripped off the last guy.
Dude, it's funny because I actually had this conversation pretty recently, but it was like, most of the stuff you listen to is just a rip-off of something else that somebody does not as good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, I still like it. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna like talk bad about stuff like that, but it's like, most of everything is just something that somebody else has done.
Everything has been done. Like, that's
Yeah.
the mindset you have to have. So
Yeah.
all we're doing with these cars, all we're doing with our music, we're taking the good things of all the
Yep.
things we like, and we're putting them together. We're taking.
Nice.
I think we just figured out what those guys on the 4-wheelers were doing.
Yes.
We're taking different, like, we're taking old recipes.
Yeah.
We're breaking down the ingredients,
Yep.
taking a few ingredients from each one, making a new recipe
Yep.
with it.
And it works.
Yeah.
Like, all of it, like, there's not a thing that has come out that I'm like, I don't like it. Usually everything's like, yeah, that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like a purist by any means. I'm not like you were saying, an analog guy where it's just like, I only listen to this, or I only listen to this.
Oh, like the vinyl heads.
Yeah. I couldn't give two shits. I'm not too cool for anything, man. I just like cool shit. And
Yeah.
that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, me too. I don't. Also, I think we, like, again, that punk scene when I was coming up, it was like, it's like very, like, Kansas City music scenes have always been elitist, where it's like, if you're gonna like
Yeah.
this, you can't like anything else.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
No,
Like-
dude, I've never been like that.
Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't think that's how it works. Like, I
That's-
can like whatever I
no,
want.
Exactly. Like, you got to be your own person when it comes to stuff like that too. It's
Yeah.
like just the other day I discovered this dude from the early 60s. His name's Magic Sam.
Oh, Magic Sam
Yeah.
rules.
And he plays this Magic Sam boogie where it's just like, it's him flowing and a band backing it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the coolest shit, and somebody else is like, no, it's garbage because he's not playing anything. I'm like, he's making magic right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that shit's cool as fuck.
No, yeah, Magic Sam is.
Yeah.
That's the real deal, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm way big. I always have been Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs.
Yeah, dude.
And saying Wooly Bully, but if you listen to like all their other music, you realize like, oh man, this is like kind of a punk rock band.
Right, yeah.
Because this guy's like, there's this crazy song. It's called I Couldn't Spell, and it's supposed to be shit, but it's just like a bunch of like, you know,
Yeah.
different apostrophe, or it's like a dollar sign, a question mark,
A bunch of symbols.
a bunch of symbols. And then in the song, the guy goes, I couldn't spell like,
Yeah.
because he couldn't cut, you
Right.
know. But that's great. Like, it's cool to find that old stuff.
Yeah.
Even better when there's like, I have my buddy Eric that you've met before.
Yeah.
That has that 60 Chevy. When I first met him when I was like 23, he had the craziest collection of like the weirdest like garage rock revival
Yeah.
music, and he turned me on to so much stuff that I'd be like, whoa, what is this?
Right.
You know what
See,
I mean?
and
Like,
dude, I love discovering shit like that. Like,
yeah.
especially when someone's like, check this out, and you dive super deep into it. You're like, this is all I'm going to listen to for right now.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And then also, it better be good
Yeah.
if you send it to me, because I'm only going to send you something if I think like, yo,
Right.
this is so
Absolutely.
good, it's worth sharing with you.
Right.
Where, I know you're going to go to Rumble Drags with the car, Vintage Drag Race event. Are you going to actually run the car?
Dude, as much as I want to, I don't think it's like ready to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I've thought about it heavy, and I'm like, I'll just show it. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, once you get that 302 in there, it'll change it totally. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
You won't be getting that same gas mileage you were bragging to me about earlier,
No.
but you'll be probably more reliable than you are currently.
Yeah.
This thing seems to be pretty reliable, though.
Dude, actually, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So it's set for a couple months in between working on it and working and not being able to go to it, and literally just turn the key and it starts.
Yeah. What do you do for a living, Johnny?
So I work at Faultless Starch. I drive a forklift for a living.
Okay.
Loading trucks, pulling orders, doing that goofy shit that nobody wants to do, but you got to make money somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, that is what it is.
Yeah.
That's the wild thing, is like, there's so many people I know that like probably could have worked in a shop, but they don't have the desire to.
Yeah.
As to where I just don't want to do anything else. And at this point, it's like all I know how to do.
Right.
Like I've tried doing other things.
Yeah.
And I like, maybe it's the artistic side of my brain or whatever. I can't do it. I tried a lot of different things. Warehouse work. I've tried things that most people would be like making good money.
Yeah.
And it's like not hard mentally.
Yeah, man.
It's sometimes like physically constraining, but my brain is just like, you got to get out of here.
Yep, that's
Like,
my brain every day. I mean, I've been at the same place for 5.5 years now, and it's like, I am tired of looking at these same four walls doing these same shit.
Yeah.
So I have a little Bluetooth speaker to like stimulate my brain a little bit, so I'll listen to tunes while I'm doing it, but it's like, man, I'd rather do anything else but this.
Yeah. And then there always comes the grass is always greener is what they tell us.
Bad, no.
Who knows?
Yeah, dude, anywhere the grass is always fucking brown. I mean, look over there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I've bounced around the idea of just like doing something for myself, but I don't know what I'll do. You know what I mean? Like, I could drive. I'm good at that. I thought about doing a driving gig again, but for now, it's paying for this, so I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Like, you get older, you start making more money, you find a different place doing something similar.
Right.
I got a buddy who, I was just talking to him the other day, he drives a forklift, and he's always like, trying to make me go to anger management because these stupid people they hire for temps, and it's like,
oh god.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, maybe change your attitude. Why do you care so much?
Right.
Like,
dude, I actually had to have that come to Jesus with myself because we do the same stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm just here to do my job and go home. Like,
where I'm at now, I really like it because of that. We care about the product, but it's not like other shops I've worked at where it's like, we gotta have this done today and we're gonna do this.
Right.
Like, I can tell the owner isn't robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Where I've worked for some people where it's like, yo, am I getting a paycheck this week or not?
yeah,
like,
dude, I'm not into that. I can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm steady enough that I know what I'm gonna get, and then I can just go from there. Like, I can budget myself pretty well. But then again, like you were saying, I mean, I follow you, obviously, so I see, oh, you're working on a Challenger today. I'm like, I would love to work on a Challenger today.
Yeah, you say that, and then until you start working
No,
on the
for
Challenger,
sure.
the day the owner brings you a manual that's 6 inches thick,
Yeah.
and you go, "Dear God, this
Yeah.
is the book I've been needing that's going to show me how to put all these parts on this car that I didn't take off of this car." And then he goes,
Yeah.
"Now what this is a book about where all the factory bolts go on this car
Oh,
and what
God.
bolt is supposed to be there." I looked
Yeah.
at the guy and said, I just set the book down and walked off and said, what do you
Yeah.
want me to do?
Yeah. Yeah,
What,
like,
now I'm building a damn
Yeah.
100% factory. I said, we're a little late for this, bud. We sort of modified some things on your car already. That I made it way better than it was
Yeah.
before.
I mean, to drive a stock car is not very fun to me. I mean, some people love it. Like I said, and we're back with the four-wheelers. Okay.
We're back. They were trying to get down to
Yeah.
the field over there. I only know that because I walked over there one
Right.
day.
I mean, that thing was like a monster truck. You should have just jumped over the barricade.
Yeah, I didn't understand those giant sand dune tires on it. Maybe there's a mud pit. I don't know.
Nah.
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
That guy came down here to talk on the phone though.
Yeah, dude. And he had a snorkel on it, which made it
Yeah,
funnier.
even weirder.
It's like you going in the river, bud.
Going to the river.
Fuck it.
That's what I thought he was doing. That's why I figured he probably cut
Yeah.
this cable and drive her on there.
Yeah. I mean, he could have driven over that pretty
They could have just
easily.
went on the corner and probably drove
True.
through the trees.
He didn't think.
No.
He just wanted to talk on the phone for 15 minutes.
Yeah, he just wanted to mess up what we had going on.
Yeah.
Well, it's starting to get, the sun's going down now, and based off of the gunshots and the weirdos on the four-wheelers, it
Yeah,
might be
man.
time to get out of the Quindaro Bluffs here.
Yeah, man.
The beautiful bluffs.
The old bluff. I'm down to leave it.
Since you're younger, and unlike most of the people I've talked to so far,
Yeah,
we
man.
can, what's your Instagram?
Johnny Conflicts.
So you can follow Johnny
Yeah.
there, and you can see he posts up everything he does to the car.
Yep.
He'll post up cool shit. Sometimes he'll post up when he drops giant pallets of shit at work, which is very interesting.
You know what? Ocean
Sometimes
doesn't
it's
see it.
not him, it's somebody else, which is even sweeter.
Yeah, man. I like catching people's mistakes just as much as my own.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can see me posing on the hood of this thing like I'm a pinup, but I'm just a fat brown kid.
Yeah. I like that one. I'm gonna make a poster of it for my wall.
Dude,
But
please do.
You should make posters. After you get the lettering done, you should pose on it and then make posters to sell.
Don't tempt me, because I would
think
do
you
it.
should. 8x10.
That'd be
I
sick.
started doing that during the pandemic. I started like staging photos of myself.
Oh, no
like I went
shit.
to my buddy Mark's and he let me use his gun and
Yeah.
like shooting things, and I looked like a CIA operator.
That's
And
so
like
sick.
I started printing out 5x7.
Yeah.
They got a shooting range down there.
Yeah.
Or somebody just died. One of the two. I
Yeah.
don't know. But I would sign it. I'm not a CIA man. I just play one on TV, and then like, I would take it to random businesses around town.
Dude, that's
and give
so
it to people
sick.
that I knew.
That's so fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Weird shit like
Well,
that.
then maybe I have to do that, because
Yeah, I think so. I think you need the posters.
if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
I know that's right.
That's my outlook on life now.
I like it. Well, I really appreciate it, Johnny.
Yeah, dude, of
And
course, I
really
appreciate
do,
you, bud.
As you said.